Story time on how my ex-best friend cried her way out of being exposed and then turned a whole entire friend group on me. Okay, so this happened in like 7th or 8th grade, and I was in a friend group of 4 girls. It was me, my best friend Kaylee, and then there was 2 other girls in the friend group. Okay, so basically like me and Kaylee were the kind of best friends that like we knew each other's families. Like she came over all the time. We were inseparable. And then like occasionally there would be like a sleepover where like all 4 of us would stay over at someone's house. Okay, so fast forward to us being friends for a while now. I was starting to notice like little things would go missing like when she would come over. But like it literally started as like little things like a pair of earrings and then like a mascara. But I didn't really like think anything of it, but I was also aware because my parents told me to be like aware of those kind of things. But also like I didn't want to confront her because I didn't want to accuse her of anything because they're little things and they could easily have gone missing. And then kind of where everything starts to go downhill is she spent the night one night and then my Dior lip oil went missing and then a little tiny watch that my grandma gave me went missing. And like girl, back in the day those were like my 2 prized possessions. And like I told my parents that they went missing and I was like there's no way that Kaylee could have took it. Like I don't think that she would do that to me. And my parents were like, well, you don't have to accuse her, so maybe just ask her if like she took them or maybe they got mixed up in her bag, which like there's no way they could have. Like someone would have had to purposely put them in there. So I text her and I'm just like, hey girl, like this and this is missing. Like did you grab it? Did you see it? Do you know where it is? She was just like, no, like why would you accuse me of that? Like I would never do that to you. And I was like, okay, like I just backed off and I just like was like whatever. Then I texted my other friends separately and I was like, hey, have you guys seen my watch or my lip oil or whatever? And kind of where I started to feel betrayed is when I texted one of my friends in the friend group, Jenny. I was like, hey girl, like have you seen my watch? And she was like, girl, I was just over at Kaylee's house and I saw it on her dresser. I'm telling you, jaw was dropped. I was like, so the next day I texted Kaylee and I was like, hey, Jenny told me that she saw it on your dresser. Like I sent her a picture of the watch and I was like, are you sure you haven't seen it? And then she texted me back like a few hours later and she was like, oh my gosh, like it got mixed up in my makeup bag. Like I'm so sorry. Da, da, da. And then she returned it and it was fine. Okay, so like a few more weeks went by and like I kept having sleepovers with her and I would notice like more little things kept going missing and like my guard was already up. So I would already like put up all my special things away and like keep out cheap things, you know, so she wouldn't steal like what I actually wanted. And then I started hanging out with Jenny, the other girl without Kaylee, and I didn't want to talk bad about Kaylee, but I was just like, hey, like have you guys noticed that like anything goes missing when you hang out with Kaylee? And they literally got all offended. They were like, Maya, like why would you say that? Like why would you talk bad about her? Da, 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 da. And I was like, I'm not, like I'm just saying, like I'm not accusing her of it anyway, but like this happened several times and like a lot of things go missing when she stays over at my house, and I'm just saying it like if anyone else like is experiencing the same thing. So a week goes by and then I'm spending the night at Kaylee's house and Kaylee goes, Jenny and the other girl told me what you said, that you think I'm a thief. And I was like, I don't think you're a thief. I was just saying that a lot of my stuff goes missing when you go over to my house, and I'm just saying I hope that you're not stealing things from me. So that conversation calms down and like fast forward to the next day, I'm about to go home. My mom picks me up and I get home, and by the way, like at this time, like I was in 7th or 8th grade, so I had like screen time on my phone, so I couldn't text anyone before 12 o'clock, and my mom picked me up at like 10:30, and by the time I got home it was like 11, and I opened my bag and I'm like unpacking my sleepover bag and I noticed that a pair of AirPods in there that aren't mine. So I was like kind of freaking out and I was like trying to text Kaylee that her AirPods were in my bag, but I was having screen time so I couldn't text her yet. And like literally 5 minutes before I was about to go downstairs and tell my parents that her AirPods are in my bag, her parents call my parents and are like, oh my gosh, Maya stole Kaylee's AirPods. Then my parents call me downstairs and they're like, Maya, why are her AirPods in your bag? And I'm like, I literally didn't do that, and like I didn't put them in there, like da da da. And my parents were like, Maya, we're so disappointed, like why would you steal her AirPods? And I was like, parents, I think she just set me up because I was accusing her of stealing my shit. Then my parents were like, okay, whatever. And then her mom came and picked up the AirPods that later day. And I was so embarrassed because I was like, I did not steal those AirPods. I can't believe like she would just set me up like that. And then I texted my other friends after like my screen time was over. And I was like, I can't believe like Kaylee like set me up and like da da da. And they were like, Maya, she didn't set you up. You're a thief and you were accusing her to cover it up the whole entire time. And I was like, what? So apparently like she was bawling and on FaceTime with them and guilt tripping them, saying that I was accusing her because I was stealing her stuff. And I was like, no, I literally wasn't. No, I wasn't. So yeah, I have so many other stories about her, and like she's literally a pathological liar. Like it was middle school drama, but I still have a lot more stories where that came from. So let me know if you guys want like another story time. But anyways, I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for getting ready with me. Mwah, mwah.
I'm gonna tell you guys about how I got cheated on. Got my first hey girly text. Clap. Oh, and a little disclaimer is this happened last night. I got this text last night. This is fresh. fresh out the oven, baby. I'm gonna start with the backstory of the guy and everything like that. Me and this guy actually weren't dating, but it was like we're being loyal to each other, like we're so close to dating type talking stage. Like if I were to go with some guy, he would like be like, oh freak you, like we're done forever, right? So basically me and this guy dated like a year ago, and like he was obsessed with me, but we broke up eventually. And so, you know, I thought highly of him because he was very obsessed with me whenever we dated. But after me and him broke up, he met this other girl. We're gonna call her Julia, not her real name. He met Julia after we broke up, and they started dating. Like they talked and dated and talked and dated, and they dated, okay? Him and Julia dated for actually a while, like not like they were talking for a while, but then Julia cheated on him. Okay, so then they broke up. It's not my business, but I'm just saying, like, they were just off and on. They were off. Me and him would like kind of text, kind of just like joke around with each other, and then they'd be back on. But we have these two friends that are like talking right now, and like we're both like, the girl is my best friend and the boy is like one of his really close friends. So we ended up hanging out with them two. Ended up being like touchy, like cuddly and stuff like that. So the next day after we like hung out and stuff, I texted him and I was like, I just want to know like your intentions because I really like you. But I was like, if you still have feelings for Julia, I want to know right now because I don't want to be like put into all that, and I just don't want to be wasting my time. He was like, I like you and I want to take you seriously. Cool. He was like, Julia is blocked on every platform. Remember that, guys. Remember that, okay? So basically time goes on, we're talking, it's really good. And then this one day, this is where it all starts, guys. This is where it gets juicy. I guess it's juicy. So basically one day I see his location and I see that he's just at this random little park. Like not a park, but it's like, it was like a bridge that people go running at, right? You drove 20 minutes away to go there by yourself. I was like, okay, something's wrong here. So then I just like kind of thinking of it, like we were snapping, and then all of a sudden he doesn't reply for like an hour, and he wasn't active on Snapchat for like an hour either. So it wasn't like he was just like not on Snap, like not answering me. He was on his phone in general. Oh, by the way, he was sitting in the parking lot. Because if you guys know, if they have their live location on, that means that no matter if they're active or not, it'll show you where they actually are. So I saw his location. I saw he was just literally just sitting in a parking lot. So I was like, okay, it's definitely Julia. Like he's 100% with Julia. Like I'm not an idiot. It may seem like one right now, but I promise y'all, my female intuition was telling me like he's with Julia. So I went and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get one of my friends to like check her Snapchat story and see if she's at this bridge or something. So when one of my friends check, oh, what's on her Snapchat story? A picture of the bridge that he was on, you know? So he's with her, and he's a freaking liar saying he's going by himself when he wasn't going by himself. He's a liar. He lied. He has the audacity to text me after he was done with her, which was what was going on in my mind, and he was like, ask blah 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 our friends. But it's just basically just seeing if our plans for the next day were still locked in with our friends. I said, are you serious? Oh y'all, I was so mad. So I'm like, are you serious? Don't talk to me. So then I just started ignoring him, blah 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 blah. He starts texting one of my best friends, that like we usually like hang out with, and her boyfriend. He starts texting her and is like basically just like trying to figure out what he did wrong and this, that, and the third, acting like he has no idea what he did wrong. Just continuously telling me like that it didn't happen, it's not true, it didn't happen. One of my friends slid up on her story, was like, were you with my ex? She just left her on open. She didn't respond, she just left her on open. So obviously I'm not gonna believe that he was just like, it was just a coincidence, even though he's literally blowing up my phone telling me that it's not true, it didn't happen, it's not true. I can make another video like with screenshots like of our messages and stuff to just get more deep into it. Every single platform that I have him on, he was blowing me up on it, okay? And I had just gotten my hair done that day, so I was like, oh my gosh, I don't care. Didn't believe him whatsoever. You know, the whole night I'm just like not answering him. He's blowing me up, I'm not answering him, I'm done with him. I don't think coincidences like that are possible to happen, but he's still telling me that it didn't happen. Like the words, like the way he was speaking to me was so good. Like he is such a good liar, I'll give that to him. If there was a lying award, he would win it. Next day I was like, okay, whatever, I believe you. He pulls up to my house with this big bouquet of flowers. I'll put a picture up on the screen of them. $70 flowers and 2 bags of candy. So you're telling me you sat there and you spent almost $100 on me but you were lying. You're disgusting. Never trust a man. Never trust a man. I believed him, okay? Then I go on this cruise. I got back yesterday from this cruise. Yesterday, she gonna text me. Julia texted me. She was like, I see you have me blocked on every social media platform, so I'm just gonna text you on here. She texts me and basically gives me all the tea. They did go on a run. They did do some things after their run. I was just like, oh, this is so humiliating for me. Like, I literally said, I believe you. And I wonder how good he felt whenever I said, I believe you. Whole time he was freaking lying to me. So I started blocking him on everything immediately whenever I found out. And apparently he was sleeping at the time. I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna block him on every social media platform that I have. I'm just gonna block him on everything. And then I'm gonna text him on messages and tell him, basically just dog him out on there. I blocked him on Snapchat. I guess he wasn't sleeping because he immediately noticed that I had blocked him on there. And he texted me on messages and he was like, okay. And I sent a voice note and I said, I promise I never want to hear from you again. Never do I want to hear from you again. And he's like, what the heck did I do? What the heck did I do? And I was like, and if you're gonna wear a cross around your neck, because he's quick to have that cross around his neck from TikTok shop. I was like, if you're gonna wear a cross around your neck, represent it. And then I said, whenever you guys were doing stuff in your car after y'all's run, was that cross around your neck? Because I'm a big God follower, and obviously we all sin. But you can at least try to be a man of God. I'm not perfect. I can't judge everybody. You know, we all know the Bible verse that says don't judge others because you're not perfect yourself. And he's still trying to lie to my face. He says, I wasn't with her. That's the truth. Last thing I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna see her. I'm not blah blah blah. But it's just trying to gaslight me, manipulate me, all of the above. So then I was like, girl, he's still lying. Like, he's still sitting here lying to my face. She was like, I have proof. Give me a screen recording of their messages from Thursday, May 22nd, and it was them planning everything out. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I sent a voice note on messages, and I was like, because he was still trying to tell me that he was telling the truth, and I was like, she sent me proof, so shut the freak up. Shut the front door. I said, you're a liar, disgusting, you're pathetic, and you need a life. I sent that voice note, y'all, he did not respond. I just blocked him after like 30 minutes because you had nothing to say. So guys, moral of the story is never trust a word that comes out of a man's mouth. They could buy you $100 worth of things and they're still